Are you ready to step into the shadows of South Australia? Behind every corner of this rugged land lies a chilling tale waiting to be uncovered. From abandoned asylums echoing with lost whispers to ancient locales steeped in ghostly legends, join us as we unveil the top 15 haunted places in South Australia that will send shivers down your spine. 1. Adelaide Jail, Adelaide. On the edge of Adelaide's bustling cityscape, the specter of the past looms heavily over the weathered stones of Adelaide Jail, a grim relic of colonial incarceration where shadows seem to whisper. Built in 1841, this jail was a sanctuary for the most infamous criminals Australia had to offer. And while its walls have witnessed countless lives crumbling under the weight of despair, the whispers persist in unsettling tales of those who never truly left. Locals recount chilling experiences, with visitors claiming to feel an oppressive aura and sudden temperature drops. Rumors swirl around the jail's bloody history, particularly the harrowing tales of the 45 executions that took place within its confines, the last being in 1916. This grim legacy has birthed a myriad of ghost stories that haunt the night. One particularly infamous entity is said to be the spirit of Frederick Henry Thompson, a murderer hanged in this very jail, whose lingering presence is felt in the form of disembodied cries and the sighting of shadowy figures passing through the dark corridors. Visitors and paranormal investigators have reported eerie occurrences, such as heavy footsteps echoing in the cells and sudden chills as if they were being watched by unseen eyes. Compelling evidence that echoes the trauma locked within these brick walls. Yet, the true terror lies in the raw emotion embedded in the very fabric of the jail. The sorrow of undeserved punishment and the madness that consumed so many of its inhabitants continues to envelop the air. So, dear reader, if you dare to cross the threshold into this haunted bastion of suffering, prepare yourself. These restless souls are not merely tales spun by local folklore, but an indelible reality shrouded in despair, waiting for a heartbeat to transcend the barrier between the living and the lost, beckoning you to acknowledge their lingering pain within these haunted halls. 2. Zwart Glenside Hospital, Adelaide. In the heart of Adelaide, a chilling presence lingers within the imposing structure of the Z Ward at Glenside Hospital, a historically notorious site that echoes with the tortured whispers of its past. As night falls and shadows creep along its crumbling stone facade, tales of the restless souls trapped within this former psychiatric hospital fork into darkened alleys of fear and anguish. With its establishment in 1882, Z Ward was originally designed to segregate the incurables, a term that cloaked despair and hopelessness, often attributed to patients deemed mentally ill. The opaque corridors and grim rooms that once housed those suffering from severe mental disorders now resonate with local rumors of ghastly specters, surgical remnants, and sinister treatments that went awry. The true horror of Glenside lies woven into the fabric of its tragic history. Patients, stripped of dignity and subjected to barbaric treatments such as lobotomies and confinement, found themselves doomed to die among the stark walls of Z Ward. There's a story murmured in hushed tones of a nurse who took her own life after witnessing the macabre neglect. Her spirit now said to wander the wards, leaving behind icy sensations in her wake. Many visitors have reported hearing inexplicable moans, feeling an uneasy chill, or even witnessing apparitions that flicker in and out of sight, as if the past is so hungry for acknowledgement that it refuses to fade. Eerie photographs and recordings hint at the gruesome legacy that clings to this place like a shroud. But for those brave enough to seek answers, The challenge is steep. Can any mortal withstand the electrifying truth that forms the fabric of this chilling locale? Be warned, fellow adventurers. Entering the realm of Z-Ward could lead to an unsettling encounter, not just with the echoes of sorrow, but possibly with something much darker that dwells in the interstice of life and death. You are treading upon ground soaked in agony, where lingering spirits await the unsuspecting, yearning to unearth their tragic stories. Three, Ayers House Museum, Adelaide. Beneath the haunting shadows of the Grand Ayers House Museum in Adelaide, a sense of melancholy whispers within its very walls, where polished wood meets ghostly echoes of the past. It was once the residence of Sir Henry Ayers, a prominent figure in South Australia's history, and an expansive tableau of elegance. Yet whispers of misfortune cling to its regal exterior. Locals often murmur of an invisible presence that traverses the meticulously preserved rooms, claiming that the house is haunted by the spirit of a young maid, whose tragic fate wove itself closely into the fabric of this grand estate. A fire in the late 1800s claimed the lives of several occupants, but stories of a young woman, forlorn and wandering, are the ones that haunt those who tread too close to the second floor. Her mournful sobs, emanating from the once vibrant drawing room, are said to create a thick, sorrowful atmosphere that sends a chill down the spine of visitors and staff alike. Sightings of translucent figures have been reported, particularly in the stillness of twilight, when the flickering gas lamps cast grotesque shadows that seem to dance across the faded wallpaper. Moreover, inexplicable cold spots and the persistent feeling of being watched evoke discomfort among those who dare to linger too long. The evidence of her sorrow persists. Disembodied voices and the eerie, sudden shifts in temperature are commonly recorded, sending shivers through even the stoutest of hearts. They say to heed the warnings of the past. Those who encroach upon the spirit's domain may disturb a sorrow not yet laid to rest, risking their own peace. As you step closer to the threshold of Ayers House, consider this a solemn advisory. Not all that wanders is benevolent, and some spirits, steeped in grief, seek solace in ways that could leave the uninvited with a chilling reminder of the legacy carried forth by time's relentless passage. 4. Gladstone Jail, Gladstone. In the shadow of the rugged cliffs of Queensland, the Gladstone Jail stands as a crumbling relic of despair, its weathered stone walls whispering stories of suffering and unrest. Gripped by an unsettling ambiance, visitors often speak of a chilling presence that lingers in the air, a shiver that runs down the spine the moment one steps inside its oppressive confines. The jail, originally opened in 1893, housed some of Queensland's most notorious criminals, and it wasn't long before dark tales began to embroider its history. Locals tell of chilling occurrences, shadows moving in the periphery, disembodied whispers echoing through the halls, and the inexplicable sensation of being watched. What was once a place of punishment has transformed into a nexus of hauntings, with a particular ghost holding court, that of a convict named Black Jack, who was executed here after being convicted of murder. His spirit is said to roam the very cells where he once languished, sometimes manifesting as a cold breeze or an ominous presence that sends chills shooting through even the bravest of souls. Visitors have reported unexpected fluctuations in temperature and eerie, inescapable feelings of dread, especially near the execution room, where it is believed that Black Jack's anguish transforms into palpable energy that can be felt by anyone sensitive enough to it. Yet, as you contemplate the boundary between the living and the dead, remember this caution? The jail's spectral inhabitants aren't mere figments of dreads. They are born from real sorrow and anguish. Ignoring the warnings of those who have come before you may invite an unsettling experience you cannot easily shake off, as many have left the jail not just with memories, but with a sense of foreboding that clings to them like an unshakable shadow. Proceed through the gates of Gladstone Jail with care, for the spirits of the damned are waiting in the silence that envelops these haunted halls. Five, Queen's Theatre, Adelaide. The grand facade of the Queen's Theatre in Adelaide, with its ornate buttercream facade and gilded accents, stands as a haunting reminder of a rich yet tragic past. Beneath the elegant trappings lies a history steeped in whispered secrets and spectral sightings, where the echoes of laughter once blended with chilling cries of despair. Local lore supports the notion that the theatre, one of the oldest in South Australia, is not merely a host for performances. It serves as a stage for restless spirits. Patrons and staff alike tell of shadowy figures gliding across the dimly lit halls, and disembodied voices serenading the air long after the final curtain falls. Among the various tales, one stands out vividly. It recounts the tragic fate of a young actress who met a heartbreaking end in the theater's dressing rooms in the early 1900s. It is said that during a particularly tumultuous performance, she stumbled from the stage, her dreams extinguished in a single horrific fall. Since that fateful night, her spirit is believed to linger, searching for the recognition that each performance denied her. Witnesses have reported flickering lights, odd temperature drops, and the familiar haunting sound of a piano playing a soft, sorrowful tune, a tune unable to be sourced from any living musician present. Some even claim to have seen her spectral silhouette in the mirrors, performing her final bow to an empty audience that can only feel her sorrow from the shadows. This serves as a warning to those who dare to visit. The Queen's Theatre may enchant with its beauty, yet it hides an unsettling truth that may very well haunt the souls who wander its hallowed halls. If you choose to step through its doors, tread carefully. You might just find that the past has a way of claiming its space in ways you can't ignore. What lurks in the margins, waiting, might awaken a grief that can never fully fade. 6. Adelaide Arcade, Adelaide. In the heart of Adelaide, amidst the bustle of its modern-day shoppers, lies the Adelaide Arcade, a Victorian treasure steeped in a hauntingly rich history that sends shivers down the spine of those who dare to linger after dark. Constructed in 1885, this ornate shopping arcade showcases intricate architecture and stained glass, yet whispers of its troubled past echo through the arches. Local rumors speak of a spectral figure thought to be the spirit of a young woman who met a tragic end on these very premises. Some claim she was a seamstress who inexplicably vanished, her presence lingering amidst the fabrics and fineries where she once toiled. The legend deepens with tales of the arcade's ghostly manifestations, flickering lights, cold gusts of wind, and the unmistakable scent of lilacs, a fragrance tied to the lost woman, forever searching for her ghostly self amid the bustle of retail life. Upon closer examination, the tragedy of the Adelaide Arcade is intertwined with a darker narrative. During its early years, financial instability and business failures plagued the arcade, with many vendors suffering devastating losses. It is believed that the grief of those who perished emotionally in the arcade imprinted on its walls, forming a chasm between the living and the spectral. The most compelling evidence of this disturbance manifests in the form of inexplicable occurrences reported by employees, disembodied laughter echoing through the corridors, and the feeling of unseen eyes watching one's every move. A particularly chilling story recounts an employee who fell into a trance, only to wake up screaming, haunted by visions of a woman in tattered clothing beckoning her toward a darkened corner of the arcade. To visitors, consider this a dire warning. Should you venture into the Adelaide Arcade, tread lightly and respect the history that lingers there. The tormented spirit may not always be welcoming to trespassers who disturb her eternal search. Cross the threshold at your own risk, for you may find yourself ensnared in the tapestry of its tragic past, or worse, become part of its haunted legacy, forever entwined with those who roam the arcade's shadowy corridors. Seven. Adelaide Town Hall, Adelaide. In the shadow of the imposing Adelaide Town Hall, where the sound of footsteps on the polished stone echoes through cavernous hallways, the air thickens with an unsettling stillness as darkness descends. Built in the late 19th century, this grand monument to civic pride harbors secrets that whisper through its ornate arches. Secrets that many locals claim are better left undisturbed. Over the years, tales of spectral figures haunting the premises, flickering lights in empty rooms, and disembodied voices echoing the frustrations of long-deceased officials have circulated among the citizens of Adelaide, with the town hall at the center of their spine-chilling narratives. Some say the restless spirit of Sir Charles Hotham, the first governor of South Australia, may roam these halls, his presence a reminder of a tragic past marred by political strife and personal loss, including financial ruin that shadowed his tenure. This heritage building witnessed the poignant ebb and flow of social justice and civic duty. Yet, not all was harmonious. It has been the site where desperate cries for help echoed within the walls amid community strife. It is said that late at night, the oppressive weight of despair lingers, particularly on anniversaries of significant events that shaped South Australia's history. Ghostly manifestations, such as the spectral figure of a woman in white, believed to be the spirit of a long-forgotten performer, are frequently reported wandering the town hall's upper-level halls and staircases. The tales intensify when recounting the strange occurrences during renovations, where workers claimed to feel icy gusts and odd sensations, as if being scrutinized by something beyond this world, a phenomenon as perplexing as it is disquieting. Visitors and employees alike are warned. The spectral encounters at Adelaide Town Hall are not mere tricks of the light or figments of imagination. They are threads woven into a dark tapestry of history. Those who dare to roam its cobbled corridors after dusk may find themselves unnervingly accompanied by unseen entities, igniting fears that the restless spirits of the past have not yet departed. Eight. North Kapunda Hotel, Kapunda. In the quiet town of Kapunda, the North Kapunda Hotel stands stoically, its grand facade weathered by time. Yet it conceals a dark history, shrouded in whispers of restless souls. The locals speak in hushed tones of ghostly apparitions that roam the empty halls and flickering lights that seem to beckon unwary travelers. Built in 1856, this establishment was initially a hub for weary miners during the copper boom, a gathering place of greed, despair, and untold stories. However, tales persist of something more sinister lurking within its walls. Visitors often recount chilling encounters, the sense of being watched, sudden cold gusts sweeping through, and spectral figures gliding silently in the corners of their vision. One of the most notorious legends involves the tragic fate of a young barmaid named Eliza, who mysteriously vanished on an autumn night in 1873. Her disappearance prompted intense searches and fueled rumors of foul play. ultimately igniting local fears of the ghosts of those who suffered within the hotel's grasp. Eliza's spirit, clad in an ethereal white dress, is said to wander the upstairs corridors, her cries echoing softly, eternally searching for her lost life in a bygone era. Some claim to have seen her reflection staring back from mirrors long untouched, only to find themselves alone moments later. Paranormal investigations conducted at the hotel have offered compelling evidence of Eliza's presence, including unexplained sounds captured on audio, and old photographs revealing shadowy figures where none should exist. Yet, for those intrigued by the prospect of haunted accommodations, a bitter warning must be issued. The North Kapunda Hotel, despite its quaint charm and historical significance, might unleash phenomena best left undisturbed. Those drawn to its dark allure should tread carefully. The spirits here are known to lash out, evoking nightmares and unsettling sensations for the unprepared. As night descends and shadows grow longer, the hotel continues its silent vigil, cradling its secrets tightly sometimes. It is wise to heed the silence, for some doors should never be opened. Nine, St. John's Cemetery, Kapunda. As dusk blankets the small South Australian town of Kapunda, an unsettling chill creeps through the air, wrapping the remnants of a forgotten past in a heavy shroud of despair. St. John's Cemetery, with its crumbling headstones and gnarled trees, stands as an eternal watchman over the souls that rest beneath its ground. This graveyard, established in the early 19th century, reflects a long history of ghostly encounters and buried secrets, stirring an ominous sense of suspicion among local residents. Tales whisper of restless spirits roaming among the graves, particularly that of a heartbroken mother who lost her child. It is said that her mournful wails echo through the night, a sorrow palpable enough to make even the most cynical skeptic shudder. Delving deeper into its history, we uncover the tragedies that haunt this site, stories of miners lost in deep shafts, and cholera outbreaks that claimed untold lives. Among them is Elizabeth Ann, whose infant son, Samuel, succumbed to illness. Her lifeless body lies under a modest tombstone. Visitors report feeling an inexplicable heaviness as they approach, a cold breeze caressing their skin as if the air itself mourns Elizabeth's enduring anguish. Faint whispers of her lullabies linger, drawing people closer, yet instilling an instinctual dread, as though her love could manifest into something darker. However, it is not just folklore that raises the hairs on the back of one's neck at St. John's Cemetery. Reports of ghostly apparitions, flickering lights, and the sensation of being watched have long plagued those brave enough to explore its grounds after sunset. Ghost hunters from near and far have claimed to capture recordings of disembodied voices, a chilling cacophony that seems to call out from the depths of despair. Potential visitors to this macabre site should heed a grave warning. Tread carefully on sacred ground, lest the spirits of the damned decide to awaken from their slumber, forever entwining their sorrow with your very essence. Ten, Martindale Hall, Minturo. In the heart of Minturo, South Australia, stands the austere Martindale Hall, its once grand facade now cloaked in the whispers of a long-buried past. As dusk falls, the gnarled trees surrounding the estate seem to lean in closer, their twisted branches casting ghostly shadows across the crumbling stone. Locals have long spoken of the chilling feelings that wash over visitors as they tread the threshold, suggesting the house is a vessel of sorrow, a charnel house echoing the secrets of its tragic history. Built in 1880 by prominent winemaker Edmund Wright, the hall was not only a symbol of opulence, but also a setting for familial and financial strife. Whispers of ill-fated romance linger like a specter. The hall's grandeur, rooted in the accumulation of wealth, quickly spiraled into misfortune, with Wright's son, who fell into despair after an abrupt tragedy that wrapped his family in darkness. It is said that the spirit of Edmund Wright himself roams the halls, eternally seeking solace for the chaos that erupted following his son's accidental death, leaving the once vibrant estate steeped in an air of melancholy. Visitors recount chilling experiences: cold drafts in a closed room, the feeling of unseen eyes watching, and inexplicable taps echoing from the otherwise silent halls. Ghostly silhouettes have reportedly been seen moving about, particularly on stormy nights when the winds howl like mournful wails. Dare you step into these haunted hallways, where time stands still, and the past seems unbearably present, with whispers of the departed trailing in your wake. Martindale Hall dares you to uncover what hides within its walls, but tread lightly should you listen too closely. You may just become another soul tethered to this eerie reminder of tragedy, drawing you into an endless night of quiet despair. "11. Old Talem Town, Talem Bend. In the ghostly stillness of Old Talem Town, nestled in the quiet heart of Talem Bend, there looms an unsettling atmosphere, thick with the whispers of legends past. This historical village, an outdoor museum born from the vestiges of the 19th century, conceals its share of dark tales beneath its quaint facades of wooden structures and dusty paths. Many locals claim that the remnants of its bygone days still linger, manifesting in the form of phantom figures and eerie noises that echo through its halls after dusk. The shadows cast by the old buildings seem to stretch further, as if reaching out to share with the living the sorrow and secrets they have witnessed. Rumor has it that Old Talem Town is haunted by spectral residents who met tragic fates in this very place. Among them is the restless spirit of a young girl reported to wander near the old schoolhouse, her laughter mingling with the wailing winds. According to urban legends, she succumbed to a mysterious illness in the late 1800s, leaving her heartbroken family to mourn her. Ever since, visitors have recounted unsettling encounters with her ghostly figure darting between buildings, leaving a chill in the air and a sense of unease that lingers long after one's departure. As the sun sets, the tales deepen. Those who dare to stay late often hear soft cries and incomprehensible whispers carried on the breeze. Ghost hunters and paranormal investigators have flocked to the site, eager to document the inexplicable phenomena manifesting in dusty photographs and faint voices captured on audio recordings. Artifacts from Old Talem Town, too, tell troubling stories, with many pieces said to be cursed, evoking feelings of desperation that pass like sparks of electricity through those who touch them. But beware, for the chilling embrace of Old Talem Town might ensnare the unsuspecting. Those who enter the town seeking thrills or validation may find themselves drawn deeper into its haunting embrace, caught between the realms of the living and those forever lost in time. South Australian Maritime Museum, Port Adelaide. The South Australian Maritime Museum in Port Adelaide stands as a solemn monument on the banks of the once thriving Port River, where whispers of the past mingle with the salty breeze, cloaking the exhibits in an unsettling aura. Visitors often report a strange chill as they pass the immense collection of maritime artifacts, particularly in the darkened corners of the museum where the stories of shipwrecks and nautical tragedies unfold. The atmosphere thickens, echoing the curses and cries of sailors lost to the unforgiving sea. Local lore centers around the spirits of those seafarers who met a grisly fate in these waters and are believed to linger between realms, entwined inevitably with the very fabric of this historic site. One particularly haunting tale recounts the 1935 sinking of the SS city of Katoomba, which perished with over 30 men on board during a storm off the coast. Survivors spoke of monstrous waves and whispered warnings of the ship's ill fate. But the cries for help were tragically silenced as it sunk to a watery grave, a catastrophe that still hangs heavy in the air. Staff on after-hours shifts have reported inexplicable occurrences, cold spots, flickering lights, and the unsettling sensation of being watched, leaving many to suspect that the lost souls aboard the Katoomba may be reaching out for solace amidst the relics of their past. A prominent curator once claimed she had witnessed an apparition of a man in period-appropriate naval attire pacing near the ship model exhibits, seemingly searching for something left behind, perhaps even longing for home. For those curious to wander through this maritime history, proceed with caution. The deep waters of the past may not yield their secrets lightly. The ghosts of the Katoomba, and countless other wrecks, seem to dwell within shadows of the museum, craving remembrance in a world all too eager to forget. Should you find yourself drawn to its depths, be prepared to peer into history often means confronting the ghosts that echo from its haunted waters. "13. Glanville Hall, Semaphore. In the dim glow of the afternoon sun at Glanville Hall, Semaphore, the air hangs heavily with an unsettling mix of beauty and dread. Built in the late 1800s, the sprawling estate, once a vibrant gathering spot for the elite of colonial Adelaide, now stands as a haunting relic imbued with whispers of the past. Significantly overshadowed by its tragic history, the hall has earned a reputation as a site where the veil between life and death grows thin, with locals exchanging hushed tales of ghostly encounters and eerie sightings. Reports of cold drafts sweeping through the halls, disembodied voices echoing in empty rooms, and the unsettling sensation of being watched plague anyone who dares to wander near. The estate's legend is largely intertwined with the life of Dr. William Glanville, the original owner who had been a prominent figure in the community until a series of disturbing events unraveled his life. Following a devastating marriage that ended tragically, some sources claim that Dr. Glanville succumbed to despair and found himself wandering the halls, clinging to memories of happier days. The tales reached a chilling apex when a caretaker, while restoring the property in the late 20th century, experienced visions of a mournful figure pacing the staircase, a ghostly incarnation of Glanville himself, eternally bound to the site of his sorrow. Disturbingly, during renovations, workers unearthed items believed to belong to Glanville's deceased wife, evoking a resurgence of spirits that some claim resonate much deeper than local lore. As you ponder the enticing allure of this historic estate, consider the burdens of its ghostly inhabitants. Dare you to step closer to Glanville Hall, for within those aged walls, shadows murmur tales of heartache and loss, waiting to ensnare the curious and the unwary in their eternal grasp. Proceed with caution. The past may yet hold dominion over the present, and the restless souls yearn for connection. "14. Port Adelaide Cemetery, Cheltenham. In the quiet shadows of twilight, as the sun dips beneath the horizon, the Port Adelaide Cemetery in Cheltenham stands eerily still, draped in an unsettling silence that causes the hairs on the back of your neck to prickle. Established in 1857, this necropolis is not merely a resting place. It is a tableau of sorrow. lined with crumbling gravestones and whispering willows, where the lost souls of yesteryears linger, waiting for the living to unravel their fates. Locals tell tales of soft sobbing echoed on moonlit nights, and spectral figures that flit between the headstones, compelling stories that have seeped into the very fabric of the community. Perhaps the most notorious legend is that of Mary Ann Sweeney, a woman interred here in 1874 after a tragic shipwreck claimed the lives of her family. Her ghost, clad in a tattered white dress, is said to roam the cemetery, searching forlornly for her lost children. Her mournful cries heard drifting on the wind. This tragedy is etched in the very stones of the cemetery, with the site of her grave still adorned with flowers laid by those who seek to pacify her tormented spirit. Witnesses have recounted chilling experiences, cold spots that encase the body, apparitions appearing in photographs where no one stood, and the overwhelming feeling of being watched in the moments of solitude. Some visitors have felt inexplicable sorrow descend upon them, as if Mary Ann's grief has spilled over from her ghostly realm into the hearts of the living. Heed, however, this warning: the cemetery closes at dusk, and while the dead may be oblivious to such boundaries, the living ought to think twice before wandering through the ethereal veils of the past. For in the stillness of Cheltenham, some spirits do not wish to be forgotten, and they may just decide to claim a connection with those who venture too close. "15. Willunga Courthouse, Willunga. In the heart of Willunga, a quaint town nestled in South Australia, stands a structure that looms with eerie whispers of the past. The Willunga Courthouse, built in 1859, this imposing stone edifice, with its weathered facade and creaking floorboards, serves as a chilling reminder of a bygone era, where justice was administered, but all too frequently, lives were irrevocably shattered. Locals speak in hushed tones of restless spirits roaming the courthouse, recounting tales of long-forgotten trials that veiled dark secrets, including the notorious case of a wrongfully accused man who met his fate at the gallows. As shadows lengthen at dusk, the air grows thick with tension, sparking an unshakable sense of foreboding among those who venture near. Despite its stately exterior, the courthouse is steeped in an unsettling history that makes it a focal point for paranormal enthusiasts and ghost hunters. In the late 19th century, the site became synonymous with despair, housing suspects whose fates hung precariously in the balance. One particularly tragic event left an indelible mark. Locals claimed the spirit of a woman, possibly a victim of a cruel miscarriage of justice, roams the halls, her mournful wails echoing against the cobblestones as she searches for closure. Sightings of apparitions flickering in the windows or the unsettling sensation of being watched have made even the most skeptical patrons question their convictions. Those who dare to explore this storied monument are often cautioned. The ghostly presence that lingers within feels almost alive, stirring feelings of dread and despair. It is said that once you step onto the courthouse grounds, you may unwittingly invite the tormented souls of the past to accompany you home. As generations have passed, the courthouse stands resilient yet hauntingly silent, a grim sentinel of sorrows long gone, but never forgotten. Be wary of drawing near some doors. Once opened, may never close again. Thanks for joining us on this chilling journey through the top 15 haunted places in South Australia. If you enjoyed uncovering these spooky stories, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more haunting adventures. Got a ghost story of your own? Share it in the comments. Stay tuned for our next terrifying exploration, where we dive into the most haunted locations in Australia's outback. Until then, keep your lights on